On this edition of Look at Truth, my favorite time of the year, tax season. Oh God, I hate this year. And how much money you have to spend every year when it comes to taxes. It's a mind-blowing number on how much money I have to spend when it comes to living in this state of Washington. Oh, how I enjoy living here, as you can tell. And this is why when I retire, I want to get the hell out of here and leave. Because this state, I guarantee you, will eat itself alive. It's going to get uber expensive and starting to get more and more expensive. We got politicians in our state that don't know what the hell they're doing. Pure and simple. Oh, we're just passing it on to the consumer. Oh, we're passing it on to the taxpayer. And it's just uber expensive just to live here. If I add up everything when it comes to car insurance, when it comes to homeowners insurance, when it comes to property taxes, even when it comes to my 1090 form, which means I have money in the stock market, and I have to pay off a big chunk of my money to the IRS, which I'm not a fan of, by the way, but I have to do it every year. To put it nicely, I can go and buy a brand new Ford Explorer Sport or Expedition right off the showroom floor. Yeah, no financing, no whatever. But the flip side to that coin is I can make up that money in the stock market within 1 month. But I'd rather have that money in my account so that way, hey, I could go off and, make more investments, make more money, and do things that, hey, I want to do, like invest, maybe go buy secondary property somewhere, rent it out, make more money. But everything in the state is uber expensive. This is why my set goal is this: to leave. Because this state's going to eat itself, and when it does, I don't want to be anywhere near when it happens. The other thing is that when it comes to my home state, in Olympia right now, they are what they're doing is that they're trying to pass on, $5, $4 gas tax towards the consumer because they say it's going to affect the environment. We have to think about the children. Reality is, it's not going to, do anything for the environment except be a burden on consumers, which means everything's going to go up. Food, gas, clothes, everything that we buy comes in here by, truck. And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to pass it on to the consumer. We think that these companies that make, from the iPhone to a cup of coffee mug to a TV, everything you can think of goes up. But it shows how dumb these people truly are. They're not intelligent. But again, these are the same people that voted in a legislation, that is flat out is just socialist. I'm not kidding. We actually have politicians in Seattle that are flat out are socialists, and they do not care. They push these bullcrap policies that don't work, and our state is in a lot of trouble. But they want to completely ignore, the situation that goes on here in my home state of Washington. It shows how stupid they are. Anyone that sees this video, go to Coma 4 and watch how bad it is. Now, Coma 4 did a documentary called, hey, Seattle's Dying, and it truly is. We have a homeless crisis here in Washington and how bad it is and how much money we spend on the homeless. I mean, we have freaking heroin needles all in downtown Seattle, tents everywhere, RVs everywhere. You got people that literally are sleeping on the sidewalk. You can't tell if they're alive or dead. It's really bad to live here, and it's not cheap either. Now, if you look at a state like Arizona, that's my end goal. My end goal is within 2 years to get a place in Arizona, right? Get a condo. When I'm not there, rent the thing out. When the weather gets shitty and miserable here, go down there for a couple months out of the year, right? Sit by a pool, have a cigar, have a cocktail, and eventually my end goal for me is this, personally, is to make all the money I can, working. The second I get close to retiring, rent this house out, go to Arizona, sell the condo, buy a house in Arizona, and live down there full time. Because the time that I retire, I ain't gonna live here. I'm gonna be long gone. Last thing, I've seen a lot of stuff on YouTube when it comes to these protesters, right? Now, the thing is, yesterday we had a protest in downtown Washington that was for the, Keystone Pipeline, right? Chase Bank is basically financing it, and you got all these dumbasses in downtown Seattle. About 1,000 of them show up. Now, they have the right to protest. They have the First Amendment, freedom of assemble, all that crap, right? But they don't have the right to do is block traffic. They did that. 1,000 of them showed up and they're saying how evil, the Keystone Pipeline is. But is it kind of ironic and kind of stupid of them? These are the same people that everything that they're wearing is made by oil. Your shoes, your clothes, from the iPhone that you have, or the iPad, or whatever the other type of iPad, you can sit there, put it on a pole, and stick it up and show how many people are there. These people, you know, drive cars. These people drive SUVs. These people pedal bicycles. And it's really ironic how they sit there and say how, oil is really evil. But everything you're wearing was made by oil consumer products. Kind of funny, huh? Not to mention that I've seen stuff on YouTube where you have all these college kids that are saying the most hateful things towards conservative, where they say, we're united, we'll never be divided, and they do chants and all this stuff. When you have independent journalists that go there and start asking a question, their typical answer is, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, I don't want to interview you. And they support candidates like, say, Bernie Sanders that want to do a 70 or 90% tax increase on Americans. What do you think that would do to the economy? It'll bankrupt it. That will really screw up our economy. But it's funny how these people have all of those amendments. You have the First Amendment, you have freedom to assemble, you have all those amendments. But is it kind of ironic that they want to tear down all that stuff? Yeah. And the other thing is that these are kids. These are kids that, have been force-fed this crap their whole lives. When they get into reality, reality is not fun. Reality is cruel and very mean, and no one gives a damn about your feelings. Now, if you go to college and you get a degree in something that actually pays the bills, like you're a doctor, a lawyer, a financial advisor, so on and so forth, that hey, I'm going to make a good living in the end, or you spend all your parents' money on a degree that's worthless. Now you're 50, 40, 80, 90, $100,000 in debt, and now you're working at Starbucks, and now you have to pay off that loan. You spend all that money on lesbian dance theory or freaking an art degree, which no one wants, and on top of that, it's not going to pay the bills in the end. But again, these people are children. Oh yeah, one more thing. This is kind of like the icing on top of the cake. Just a big cherry on top. Trump's approval rating, Gallup poll, 53% and climbing. The other thing is that you have Nancy Pelosi has said flat out, all these candidates are running for the presidency of the United States. That person's socialism for the presidency, he's going to win. And he's going to win overwhelmingly. Hate to say it, but yeah, she's right. I find something that I actually agree with that woman. For once.